Of course, we've asked Dr. Booz, James Romano, to be here to give us an idea of what potent potables might be atypical and still quite tasty and festive for this time of year.
And we're finally going to give you that episode of Wheatland Cafe, and they're making those apple bran muffins.
Exactly, and I've been assured perfect for breakfast. So we'll get to that along with the weather, the sports, and the farm report. But right now, it's time for the news, and I'll turn things over to Trish.
All right, thanks very much, Jeff. And we begin with the water problems plaguing Saskatoon today. About 150,000 people are under a boil water advisory in the city of Saskatoon. It all started with a break in a primary water line early this morning in the city's north end. CTV's Colin Thomas joins us now from near the scene of the break. Colin, what else do we know about the water advisory and the break that caused it?
Well, the city says they had the break under control by about 8:15 this morning, and as you can see, work to repair the water main break is already underway. That's the crux of the problem. It's the repair work that means it's actually just a very small chance, but there is a chance of soil or some sort of other water contamination. So half the city is under a boil water advisory. Geographically, it's pretty straightforward. If you are west of the river, that includes downtown, of course, you are under a boil water advisory. If you are east of the river, you are not under a boil water advisory. Now, this water main that broke early this morning, according to the city infrastructure manager, he says it's about 6 or 7 times larger than a regular water main. Thus, is why the problem is being so complicated.
It wasn't just a local water main. It was a 24-inch or a 600 millimeter diameter water main that is what we call a primary water main, which feeds your typical local. So instead of just a street being out, these are the big pipes that supply the local smaller pipes. So it affected a tremendous amount of people.
Now, obviously, the boil water advisory includes restaurants, hotels, hospitals, nursing homes, things like that. Now, the damage from this morning's break, of course, all that water is going to freeze, although I must admit I thought it was going to look a little more catastrophic than it does right now. I should add that many in the city woke up this morning without water, or at least water pressure to get their morning showers and get their commute underway. The city says, again, as of around 8:15 this morning, all water, at least in terms of source, has been restored. Of course, though, there is that boil water advisory, again, west of the river. Now, how long that advisory will stay in place, we're going to find out more this afternoon from the city.
All right, thanks, Colin. CTV's Colin Thomas reporting on the big water main break in Saskatoon's north end this afternoon. Meanwhile, there's been another water main break causing problems in a residential. A tough morning for residents and businesses in the city's north end. A major water main break has left about 150,000 people under a boil water advisory. It all started with a break in a primary water line around 45th and 1st Avenue. CTV's Colin Thomas joins us now from the scene of the break. Colin, what's the latest on the break itself and the subsequent boil water advisory?
Well, the city says they had the break under control just after 8 o'clock this morning, and maybe you can see behind me here, work to repair the water main break is now underway. Now, it's that work that has led to this boil water advisory. They say the work might cause some sort of soil contamination or somehow affect the water supply. So there is a boil water advisory in place. It's affecting about 150,000 people. If you are west of the river, you are under the boil water advisory. That includes downtown, obviously. If you are east of the river, then you are not under the boil water advisory. Now, Mike Gutek from the city of Saskatoon says this is actually a very large water main, and that complicated efforts to repair the problem this morning.
It wasn't just a local water main. It was a 24-inch or a 600 millimeter diameter water main that is what we call a primary water main, which feeds your typical local. So instead of just a street being out, these are the big pipes that supply the local smaller pipes. So it affected a tremendous amount of people.
I might add that Saskatoon Light and Power just arrived on scene. They're actually concerned about one of those power poles there. Maybe we'll talk to them before we leave here. Now, obviously, the water advisory includes hotels, restaurants, hospitals. I know they have the visitor thing going on at St. Paul's Hospital because of an infection there. That's going to complicate things. Nursing homes as well. Now, all that water that seeped out, obviously, it's going to freeze. That's going to cause other problems as well. Many woke up this morning without water or water pressure. That's obviously going to compromise people's ability to get ready for work and school and that kind of thing. But a boil water advisory in place for all areas west of the river. I should add that also means north up towards Warman as well. And but how long that advisory is going to stay in place? Well, once I'm done here, we're going to go to the city and we're going to get an update.
All right, thanks, Colin. CTV's Colin Thomas reporting on the big water main break in Saskatoon's North End this afternoon. Meantime, there was also another water main break in a residential area of the city this morning, and many are questioning if the two are related. Jennifer Jellicoe joins us now from that water main break on Victoria.